Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to a new week of school. We are working on equivalent fractions today, and I am thankful right now that there is no one equal to our God. He is beyond all things, and I love that He gives us order in math, and here's some new fun things that we're going to do. So as we review, the first part of this lesson is kind of reviewing. We're going to use our eyes and see the pictures and see how things work out with equivalent fractions. So let's get to it. Let's look at what it says right here. Read along in the blue box. A scientist recorded that 1/2 of the wallabies in an Australian animal park had joeys, which are baby wallabies, if you didn't know. If there are 12 wallabies, how many of them had joeys or babies? Okay, so this would be the math equation for that. If there's half of all the wallabies that have babies, how many babies were born to 12 wallabies? Well, let's look at that and figure it out through a picture. Okay, so here is the picture. If we have half that we know are going to be born, half of all the wallabies are going to have baby joeys. What is that going to look like if there's 12 wallabies? And we know that fractions are divided into equal parts. Do you see this? So there are going to be 12 equal parts. And let's color in half of those parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 parts out of 12. So we know that 6 baby wallabies, or 6 of the wallabies will have baby joeys. Okay, so since 1/2 and 6/12 are the same amount, then 1/2 equals 6/12. They are equivalent fractions. So equivalent fraction is our big term right now, equivalent fractions. Do you hear the word equal in there? Equal, equivalent. So what does that mean when fractions are equal? They're equivalent fractions. So let's look at this one. And I noticed something, boys and girls. I don't know if you see this. Tell me what's wrong with these numbers right here. Let's look at this part. And look at this part. They are equal, I see that. But what's the fraction on the top one? This is 2 parts out of 6 parts. This one is 2/6. And this one is 1 part out of 3 parts. So 1/3. And boys and girls, let that be an encouragement to you. Even those who create this book, whose job is to make these books, guess what? They're human too, and they make mistakes. So we have to be extra careful. But even when we're careful and it's our job, can we still make mistakes? Yep. We're all human. We all need Jesus. So, but it's still true. They just got the fractions labeled wrong. Does 2/6 equal 1/3? Yes. So if we look right here, if we were to draw a line down, 2 out of 6 is the same as 1 out of 3. So 1/3 equals 2/6, or 2/6 equals 1/3. Does it matter what order we put them in? No. They're the same. So let's look at the next one. It's still going to be a picture. We have 1/4 represented here. We have 2/8 represented here. Are they the same? Is this chunk right here the same as this chunk right here? Yes, they are equal. So we know that 1/4 is equal to 2/8. Okay, let's keep moving down. And here is where we start to learn the math equations to find that out. So we don't just have to draw pictures. Now we're going to be shading in the boxes to show us in the pictures, but I want you to see how we're going to do a math equation. Now this formula, the step-by-step in this book, is step 1 is to divide. You take the bottom number and divide it by this number right here. And what do you get? I'm going to put the answer right here. The answer is 2. And then it asks you, 10 divided by 5 is 2. Then you take that 2, see here it is, and you multiply it by this number right here, which is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to take that 4 and put it right here. So we know that 2/5 equals 4/10. Let's color it in and double check. 1 2/5 equals 1, 2, 3, 4/10. Does it match? Yes, we can see that it does. Okay, so we use multiplication and division to find equivalent, that's equal fractions, and then we shaded the fraction strip to check the answer. So we did all of our instructions right there. Now, the one thing I want to show you is the way that I want us to do this problem. in class. So I'm going to erase this. Now, what I'm going to teach you is a way you don't have to use division. Now, you will kind of be using division because remember, fact families are fact families. If I know that 5 times 2 is 10, I know that 10 divided by 5 is 2. So do you remember our fact families? So the fact family would be 10, 5, and 2. So if I know that 5 times 2 is 10, I know that 2 times 5 is 10. I know that 10 divided by 5 is 2, and I know that 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, that's the reason this is going to work, but let me show you what I want to do instead so you don't have to think about it going in different directions and don't know which way to go. This is the way I want us to do this in class. Okay, so here is Mrs. Kornthal's way. I am not going to do division this way. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start at the 5, and 10 times what? Times which mystery number? 5 times what equals 10? 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay, 5 times what? Times what? Or 5. So in my mind, it is 5 times which mystery number equals 10. Is that the same thing as division? Yes, but this is what it's going to look like on your paper instead. Then I know whatever I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. So if I did times 2 here, I'm going to do times 2 here. So 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, let's look at that again. 5 times 2 is 10. Then I know 2 times 2 is 4. Did we get the same answer? Yes, we did. Okay, and if I shaded it, it would look exactly the same. So instead of going backwards and doing division, we are going to do multiplication forward. Okay, but let's do it the book's way again, and then I'll show you Mrs. Kornthal's way going forward so we can fill in these blanks. It says divide the ninths into 3 equal groups. So let's do that here. I'm dividing 9 into 3 equal groups, and the reason I do that, how do I know how to do that? 9 divided by 3 is 3. So there's going to be 3 in each section. And I divide it into groups, 3 equal groups. Do you see that? Then it says shade 2 of those groups. So I'm going to shade 2 of these groups. And what do I get? 6 parts out of 9. Okay, that's in my picture. Well, let's look at it here. What did I just do? I did 9. Here's my 9 total. And then I divided it into 3 equal groups. And what did I get in each group? I got 3. Then what did I do? I multiplied each of those groups by the 2 sections. See, so there's 1 section and 2 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I got 6. I'm sorry, I didn't multiply. I got 6. My answer is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer is 6 ninths. Okay, now I'm going to show you. I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to show this to you without all this division. Okay? Let me show you Mrs. Kornthal's way. 3 times what equals 9? We know 3 times 3 equals 9. What we do to the bottom, we always do to the top, so it stays equal. Times 3, and I'm going to 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, I got the same number. The answer is 6 ninths. Does that match? Yes, it does. Okay. Let's try one more. And then for all of these, boys and girls, I'm going to have you do it Mrs. Kornthal's way. We're going to skip the division part. We're going to do all multiplication forward. I think it'll stick in your brain better, and it was much more effective with my students last year. Okay, we're going to divide. Now we're just going to do pictures again. So I'll use this fun green into 5 equal groups. 5 equal groups. I'm going to make it match. I'm going to shade 3 of those groups. So here's one group of 2. Here's another group of 2. And what did I discover? I'm going to put this number here. How many are in each group? It's 2. Okay. And then I'm going to shade 3 of these groups. And do you see that it matches right here? Okay. So what did we get? 3 groups out of 5. This one's 3/5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups. 6 groups out of 10. Okay, that's what the picture shows us. Well, let's look at the math behind it. All right, what did we do first? We took 10. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we divided it into 5 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal groups. And how many did we get in each group? We already discovered there's 2 in each group. Then what do? We multiplied that by 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. 3 sets times 2 in each. See, there's 2 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we got, altogether, we got 6 sections out of 10. 6 tenths. Okay, let me show you this again, Mrs. Kornthal's math style. Oops, I don't want to scribble that out. I want to erase it. Okay, let's look at it Mrs. Kornthal's way. Going forward, 5 times what number is 10? 5 times 2 is 10. Then what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. Times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. That's all you need to do. Now remember I said sometimes when the book tries to show us with pictures and break it down into all the steps, it sometimes gets more confusing. They just want you to know why this works. Okay, so they're using pictures to show you in the beginning. Now let's completely get rid of this down here. I don't want you to do it. Do not do it. We're going to do times. Okay. Can you go get her, please? Last time she was barking like crazy. 3 times what equals 9? 3, sorry, Fonda's barking. 3 times what equals 9? 3 times 3 is 9. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. So now 3 times 3 is 9. What you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So 1 times 3 equals 3. Okay, all these arrows, I would like you to turn them the other way. Okay? Ignore the arrows in your book. Turn them all the other way. And if your parents say, what are you doing? Just say, Mrs. Kornthal taught me a different way. And it's easier. Okay? So you're going to turn all your arrows the other way. 8 times what is 16? 8, 16. You can use your fingers. Times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. What you do to the bottom, you also have to do to the top. So what do you put up here? Times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Excellent. 10 times what equals 20? 10, 20. 2 groups. What you do to the bottom, you also do to the top. Times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, think about the next one. Mystery number 5 times what equals 10? 5, 10, that's 2. 5 times 2 is 10. What you do to the bottom, say it with me, you also do to the top. Thanks, Abigail. So we do 4 times 2 is 8. Excellent. Let's look at this one. 6 times what number is 12? 6, 12, 18. Oh, 6 times 2 is 12. What we do to the bottom, we also do to the top. Thanks, Abigail. I wish I could hear my students too. Thanks for playing along. 2 times 2 is 4. Fabulous. I'm going to switch this colored because I'm bored of this color already. And Abigail's here with me, so I'm switching to purple. It's her favorite. All right, let's look at the bottom. 2 times what equals 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. If you counted that on your fingers, it's 4. What you do to the bottom, you also do to the top. Times 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1/2 equals 4/8. All right, here we go again. Do you see the pattern? 7 times what is 21? 7, 14, 21. You can shake your shoulders when you do that. 7, 14, 21. That was 3 groups. What you do to the bottom, you also do to the top. Yes, that's correct. So 2 times 3 is 6. All right. Last one on this section. 9 times what equals 18? Write it in. I'm going to give you a minute. 9 times 2 equals 18. All right, and what I do to the bottom, I also do to the top. So if I times 2 on the bottom, I times 2 on the top. 1 times 2 is 2. So 1/9 is equal to 2/18. Okay, let's move down. It says complete the fractions. Solve. 1/3. Now, boys and girls, they're going to put words in here. And you know that 1/3 in numbers looks like this. 1/3 of the third graders wear glasses. I wonder if we actually, let's see, if we count Zane, Aurora, Tristan. Who else? Anyone else wear glasses part-time? 3 out of 21. Ooh, that's our fraction for wearing glasses in our class. So if 1/3 of the third graders wear glasses, if there are 15 students in the class, how many of them wear glasses? I'm so glad I'm doing this with you, boys and girls, because I want you to see this. Okay, so if we have 1/3 wear glasses in the class, and there's 15 kids, how many of them, this is our mystery number, how many of them wear glasses? Okay, so this is our problem that we're working on. And let's do the work right here. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to erase this a little bit so it doesn't get in the way. Oops. So if 1/3 of the class wears glasses, how many actual kids wear glasses if there's 15 students? So just like our wallaby example in the beginning, let's work that here. So let's figure it out. What's the first thing we do? 3 times what equals 15? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, that's 5. 3 times 5 is 15. What we do to the bottom, we also do to the, Abigail, say it with me. Top. So we multiply the top number times 5. So if you can't see that here, 1 times 5 is what? So our answer, 1/3 equals 5/15. Okay, so what answer do we put on the line? What are we trying to find out? Okay, this is what we're trying to find out. This number right here. So how many students wear glasses? 5. Am I done? Is that the answer? No. What do I need? Label. Okay, what am I labeling? Am I labeling 5 glasses? Am I labeling 5 what? You can write 2 things. You can write third graders. Or, if you wanted, what else could you call them? It says it right here. The word is right here. 5 students. Could you write 5 third grade students? Sure. Either one of these is fine, but you do need to label. Okay, label, label, label. Keep practicing if you get it. It is actually pretty easy, boys and girls. Remember, all you need to do, the biggest rule for today, say it with me. What you do to the bottom,
you have to do to the top.
Good job, Abigail. What you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So whatever you times the bottom by, you have to times the top by, and then it will be equal. Okay, that's it, boys and girls. I will see you tomorrow.